The NHRA Powerade Drag Racing Series is in Texas. Race 20 of the 24, we are in the playoffs. The countdown to the championship. Let's go to the line, and we'll see Bob Vandergriff and Clay Millican coming up. Vandergriff, best qualified start of the season for him, and Clay Millican, fifth race on the tour.
And one interesting note, Bob told me this morning that they have put the car back exactly like it was last year. They had been running some different combinations, didn't work, but now it's working.
Oh, a little engine fire there for Clay Millican. He drifts over to the right, but nevertheless, he beats Bob Vandergriff, 419 with a 222 miles an hour. Kenny Koretsky looks on, kind of wondering how much damage may be done to that Nitro Fish car.
There's a lot of damage based on the concussion from that and the big-time fire. Had a cylinder out early as soon as Clay Millican hit the throttle. Bob Vandergriff was basically running away from it until he started spinning the tires. Watch the right side of your screen. He's right about that point. Bob Vandergriff's got about 0.03 of a second, but then starts spinning the tires. He backpedals the car. Then Clay blows his up, but still gets the win by about a car length. Take a look at a Lucas Oil photo finish cam. You're going to see, like I said, about a car length, but Clay's going to win it with a trail of fire right behind him.
Hillary Will is looking at these last events of this season as perhaps her last opportunity, because she's very concerned about lack of sponsorship. Ken Black has funded this operation for 3 straight years out of his pocket, basically, and she is saying, man, I'm just savoring every moment. She's also announced that she'll be competing in Australia at the end of the season in a special event that I know Mike Dunn's familiar with, now named in honor of Scott Coletta.
Well, another fine race, another fire. Hillary Will wins it. Coming into this round, she was 0-7 against Coletta. She wanted to beat him. She ran the quickest run of the round and takes a win, a 387. Hillary Will moves forward, taking out another member of the playoffs, Doug Coletta.
Hey, and that was a good old drag race. I mean, both of these cars, even though Hillary's your number 3 qualifier, Doug was 14th, they were going down the track very consistently in qualifying. First round was no different, except you saw Doug explode the engine going into the lights, but a 387 in that right-hand lane on the right-hand side of your screen by Hillary Will was a very good run. But watch Doug Coletta once he gets close to the 1,000-foot mark. Boom! I mean, it just launched that injector right off the top of that engine. That was a big-time explosion there.
And once again, we have a Lucas Oil photo finish cam for you.
Take a look at that. That's bigger fire than Clay's.
And we take a look to the line because we're set to go. Pro Stock Motorcycle, there is Matt Smith. He's extending that points lead, looking for his 5th win of the season. He will face Chris Rivas, who had a strange day getting to the final, looking to win what he hopes is his 2nd career race.
And Paul, the one thing that Matt Smith has been struggling with all weekend, the tire not hooking up in the first 60 feet of the track. They've made some changes. They hope that that will make the difference.
Well, right now that he's going to hope for it, because Chris Rivas has lane choice, ran pretty good in the previous round. We'll see what happens here with Matt Smith and Chris Rivas.
Look at that. For the first time in his career, Chris Rivas has beaten Matt Smith, a 7:02, 183 miles an hour. They're now 1-7 against one another.
Well, I got to believe Matt Smith didn't get that problem fixed, because he had 0.03 of a second advantage off the starting line, but then he spun the tire big time. I believe he was 112 and 60 foot versus 106 for Chris Rivas. That was 600 he made up in that 60 feet and then never looked back. Good job by Chris Rivas and that team.
There's Jag at the race where he started his career back in 1997. He won here in 2002, and he's looking for his 3rd win of the season against Greg Stanfield, who is 0-6 in final rounds. And against Jag, well, Jag is 11 over zip for Stanfield.
And Jag has a 62% winning percentage in final rounds. Greg Stanfield has a tough task ahead for him. Identical reaction time.
And how's that translate?
Wow.
Greg Stanfield, 667. Whoa!
talking about didn't have enough clutch in. Kind of wondered because I saw the rack time the same. Jeg was better in 60 feet, and then Greg Stanfield drove around him. According to Jeg, was slipping the clutch. He was hitting the rev limiter every shift. It just wasn't accelerating that car forward, and that allowed Greg Stanfield to drive around. Big surprise. Here it is again. Like we said, identical reaction times. Jeg was better in 60 feet, but then as he started pulling the gear, if the clutch is slipping, Greg Stanfield was able to get around for his first career victory. Great job.
And Mike, you talk about getting the job done. Dickie Venable says what they have to do is be quick before the 400-foot mark, soft through the 400-foot mark, and then quick once again. He hopes to run a 20. They're in that right lane. He said Tim Wilkerson ran a 20 in that last round in the right lane. They think they can do that. And Tim Wilkerson says he's going to try and go a little bit faster. He's got something for them in the motor.
Well, we are about to find the answer to all those little opportunities. 20-car final. Came off the line dead even, but Wilkerson pulls away, runs a 4:17, 297 to a losing 4:20, 295 for Tony Pedregon, and Wilkerson goes back to the points lead.
How about that, Tim Wilkerson? Both teams called their number. Tony Pedregon, they wanted to run a 4:20. They did. They felt that's what that lane would hold, and they ran the number. Tim Wilkerson said he was going to try to run a little bit quicker than his 4:20 from the previous round in that left-hand lane. He does it, runs a 4:17, gets his 10th career win. Great job by that team. We kind of thought that maybe he was thinking about switching lanes, but I think he was out there looking actually where he wanted Tony to lead from. I heard him tell Lanny McGlizzy that he was probably going to move a little bit towards the inside of the groove to get off that good rubber on the launch, and then it's up to Tony after that to keep it in the middle of the lane.
So Alan Johnson brings his driver, Tony Schumacher, forward, and this was just a few moments ago when they were checking that lane out, and finally the decision made that it's good, but we'll just move over a little bit. Now, J.R. Todd will face Tony Schumacher, and he last won a race at Houston in 2007. His winless race streak right now stands at 38 races. Is he about to break it?
Well, it's going to be tough against Tony Schumacher, but he's had a very good race car, J.R. Todd has, up until the semifinals when he spun the tires. We'll see what happens.
Look at that race. Wow. Look at that race, and it's over for Schumacher. A whole shot win for J.R. Todd. The dry spell is done. The winning streak is done, all in the matter of 3.91 seconds.
Look at J.R. Todd. You think he's excited? Hey, this kid knows how to race Schumacher in final rounds. I mean, he got his first win in the final against in Denver, and then did it again on the same Western swing in Sonoma, and now he's done it again on a whole shot. Great job.
We look at the reaction as he came out of the car, and yes, it was memorable. 3 of your 6 career wins have come against Tony Schumacher, and I know no love lost there. There's special satisfaction, isn't there? Tell us about it.
There's one person I could beat on here on a daily basis, to be that guy right there. I mean, they're the best team out here, and that's why we come out here to race, to beat the best. Alan Johnson, the machine, Tony Schumacher, they're the best. How many round wins? How many wins you got?
Starting at 1 next week.
Yeah, whatever. I'll take mine right now, and I got till next week, but guarantee I'll be celebrating until Friday come Memphis, you know, but hell, these Lucas Oil guys, they've been busting their butts. We were 1 round wonders. Now we're event winners. It's about damn time.
Congratulations.
Yeah!
Wow, just a great old drag race. JR was on this. They talked about staging shallow. Both drivers stayed shallow because they had very good 60-foot times. Just a great old drag race with J.R. Todd getting the nod.
In 1 week, we head off to Memphis, and we'll get a little blues, a little good stuff, and we'll go racing. Next, NHRA qualifying show Saturday, 10:30. And coming up next, NASCAR Now.